Good morning, Academy 55 premium members and everyone else who's watching the recording. David Kahn here on Tuesday, the 30th of September. It's 5 to 8 in the morning here in the UK. Looking at the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame, following the fame and fortunes of the Academy 55 indicators and strategy. Well, what can we see here? Well, we are just had a sell going on to the 5 minute time frame, but we're in between zones, so we haven't got that confirmation, and very nervous sort of action we've seen previously on the 5 minute. So why would it be more of why wouldn't it be more of the same? Well, one of the reasons is because this time of the day usually goes to be like trending, but we also know, unfortunately, EUR USD is suffering from low liquidity at the moment. So what does that mean for us? Well, that means that when I've been putting trades on, I've not been getting enough liquidity to get to 1%. It's got to 1.27, 1.5%, and the entry's been a bit lower. So to combat that, instead of the all-important 1%, I'm going to go to 0.75%. Oh, wrong. 0.75%. I just wanted to show you really. I'll do a quick on and off because I've got 0.75% now, right? So if I go to sell very, very quickly and see it's 0.95%, close that off. Now we'll go back to 1% that we normally do and go to sell. It's 1.27%. It's over the 1%. We don't want to be trading that. This is because of low liquidity. So the only way to combat that is I don't want to go over 1% with your trades. This is a low liquidity thing, 0.75%. And that will suffice. That's the only way to get around this. The trade assistant getting near to the 1% for the moment. We don't know how long this low liquidity is going to last, but it's been going on for a couple of weeks now, and it's determined the only way to really get over it is to do that. But in any case, there's no trade at the moment because we are in between zones. And because of the nervy action here, not the best possibility of a trade. We don't need to trade. We only need to trade once or twice a day. And once you've got your 10% for the month, you're done. And I was done, 15 days ago, more than that, personally, but there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the chart, take the indicator off, Go all the way up to the daily and find that for, well, this week really, we've been in an upward momentum. We have got imbalance here on this candle here. So we'll mark that up on the daily. That's quite a lot of imbalance. So we'll mark that up. Daily imbalance there. Is there anything else we can see? Well, could be. No, I don't want to do this on the daily, I don't think. But we got imbalance there. So we'll go down to the 4 hourly. And there's that imbalance that we can see. Also, don't really like trend lines, but I wouldn't do it on smaller time frames. From the high to the low there, as you can see, usually we have 3 touches. So I might come to visit this area here again and possibly go down, but also sink into this imbalance here. Let's look on the line chart to see if there's any support and resistance lines. Now there's one just there. I'll draw that up. Support there, support there. And it's just underneath where price is now. So we'll go to the hourly. See if we can possibly clean that up a bit. Bring that down a smidge. There we go. There, point there, a point, and there. So just around about there is a fairly good support and resistance line at 1.17318. So again, very nervy action we're seeing here. Got a trend line, it might possibly bounce or break. Come down to the 5-minute time frame. There's our line. Low liquidity. So it's not really a good time for the EUR USD to be trading this. More of a watching brief, really. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. The important thing is you've recognized it and you can adapt accordingly by going for less than 1% because of the low liquidity, getting near to the 1% with the trade assist. Unless you want to, I wouldn't advise risking any more than 1%. I think I'll do a video on this later on. Horizontal ray. And because of this action here, we need more confirmations in our trade. The more things we can know what's going on. See how it's held around this support and resistance line. So that's a very important area. Price could come up to revisit that area again. But look at all this consolidation, picking up orders with very little liquidity in them. It's a bit of a sorry state, really. But the important thing is to recognize it. Just drawing up a sideways movement area. Consolidation. All this is consolidation, and this is on the 1 minute. It's ridiculous. But we can make it higher than that and go to there, down to there. All this is consolidation. It's not good. Not good to trade in those conditions. Looks very nervy. Not a lot happening. We got our zones up here, our zones down there. So we'll put the indicator back on. We had a buy down here. $2.2 pips away. There. On the trend line, as you can see, that one would have unfortunately failed. That was at 7 this morning. Got another buy here now, but we know that this trend line here, it could bounce or break. That sell obviously would have failed. We're seeing lots of nervous action. Not the best probabilities to have a trade. And the important thing is for you guys to recognize all this and to dispel your FOMO, your fear of missing out, because you're not missing out on anything. Keep your discipline, because we have our sell zone up here and our buy zone down there. We're slap bang in the middle of it. We're seeing all this horrible price action, which is not doing anything really. Like I said, the important thing is we are recognizing this. And acting accordingly, not losing our discipline and not losing any money, which is just as important. On the 5-minute time frame again, take the indicator off. Got some imbalances down there. That need to be seen. Well, that's getting over this hurdle here, this support and resistance line. But overall, I want to see I want more confirmation. The worst of the price action I can see and recognize, like this, the more I want confirmation in a trade, i.e. price going into a sell zone, breaking this trend line, breaking this support and resistance line. These are all confirmations that you need to trade in. We've got show you at 9 o'clock this morning, or 5 to 8 actually, 5 to 9, sorry. I'll just drag my we have high impact news for Germany. Now, it's not enough to say don't trade, but we got several 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 instances of German news, high impact, might be enough to sway pips, but not a great deal, I would have thought. But because Germany is just one cog of the European wheel, but having said that, it's probably the main cog of the European wheel. So it has to be respected. And that might be enough to sway, like I say, 5 or 6 pips one way or the other. So we'll bear that in mind if we ever get that far. I'll take that away again. So we're coming up to this trend line now. It'd be interesting to see what happens with this, whether it's enough liquidity to break it. Because this is the time of the day usually when things like this do happen, if they are going to happen. London's kicked in now. But back on the minute time frame. But we're well away from the sell zone and the buy zone. That we want to see price get into. And indeed, it does appear to be respecting that line. This sort of action doesn't fill one with confidence, or very nervy action, and stuff to sort of stay away from, really, until we get some more clear Elliott waves, up and down action. Breaking out of this zone here. Just respecting that trend line again, look at the moment. We know there's not a lot of liquidity. Which is not good. So instead, what we'll do with our time, I will come off this now and go on to another favorite of mine, the NAS 100. and just check out what happened yesterday afternoon, because I like 2:30 in the afternoon. So we'll put it on the 5 minute. And we'll go to Monday the 29th. $14.30, and that's what it looked like. 14:30. So I'm going to get my time machine. $14.30, which is there. As you can see, I already marked it up. But, we're in between zones at 2 in the afternoon here in the UK. So put it down to the 1 minute time frame. You already see what's going to happen. So at 29 minutes past 2, it looked like this. Too late for this move here, really. And we know volume is going to kick in another minute's time. So let's have a look. Right, we've got a buy alert now, but everything's going green. Red still, it's red still. And just here, we have the trend line turning green. The wave turning green. So that's where we put our stop loss. Making sure we are 2,000 units, which is that there. So you would have got in there, and bang, there we go. You would have got your 2%. So that was yesterday afternoon. That's because purely through volume kicking in. Right. Okay. So we have, going back to today, we have a situation where we have got a bit of action now, a buy trend. But I mean, from what we've seen there, doesn't give you confidence to do that after seeing all that. I mean, be patient and wait, keep your discipline. It's a good exercise in keeping discipline. Your stop loss will be on the trend line. But you know that trend line is being supported. So you have to have a lot of confidence in enough liquidity and volume coming in to break it. But indeed, it, well, nearly has. Keeping 2.2 pips away. But that's a very speculative trade. Seeing the action has gone previously. And indeed, it's not quite there yet. I mean, I'm not that desperate to trade because we've got the sell zone up there. There might be price might be wanting to tap into that, and there may be quite a lot of liquidity up here, but liquidity is not very high in the EUR USD for a number of days now. So bearing in mind what I just showed you with the MT4, I will throw open the chat if anybody's got any questions. It's important to stick to a 1% regime because of the way the trade assistant is working and giving us what, like if we kept 1%, when I go for a buy or a sell, it'll, because of low liquidity, it'll throw up 1.27, 1.34, something, anything like that, and you're not getting your 1%. So to stay below that, it's important to risk 0.75. So maybe 2, maybe 3 trades a day if you find the right conditions. I don't know how long this is going to stand for, low liquidity. We are following the footprints of what's happening with the EUR USD, and we can we know that, though. That's the important thing. We're working out what's going on. So before we do anything else, let's have something constructive.
Hi, this is Steve with a very short video to show you where to get the training for the indicators and tools we use inside Academy 55. So once you're logged into the members area, you'll see in the premium dashboard this section that's entitled Start Learning. And if you click here, that'll take you through to the learning library. Now, we'll say at this point, we highly recommend you watch each of these videos 2 or 3 times to get a full understanding of how everything works. Here you'll find tutorials on using the MT4 Trade Assistant and how to use the MT4 platform with the Trade Assistant. This is the longest video you'll find inside the platform. It's around 30 minutes long, well worth your time. Watch the video once, then maybe write a few questions down that you might have for yourself, and watch the video for a second time, and things will really start to make sense. By the time you watch it 3 times, you'll fully understand how everything works. So that's the longest video. It's about 30 minutes long, well worth your time. And then you can jump into individual trainings here for how to remove indicators. These videos are just a couple of minutes long. How to move MetaTrader around like you can in TradingView, Trading Assistant controls, how to do back testing in TradingView, how to draw vertical lines to mark out your hour, and so much more. And by the time you watch this video or see this video, there might be other trainings in this section. But everything here is well worth your time, and you find that, as I said a moment ago, from the main dashboard in the Start Learning section. Now, one more thing just to mention here. If you're looking for anything in particular, if you come down to the support name of FAQs, click on Get Support, and in this area you'll find a detailed FAQ section, and you can come through here. For example, if you're looking for an answer to a question about MetaTrader, have a look through these, and once you click through, you'll find direct links to videos that give you answers to most of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this useful, and back to your further training.
Thank you, Steve. So, as you can see, if you were not as cautious as me and didn't recognize all these, the trend line here and all that, indeed that one did work, which is mixed feelings about that. Shows the buy, green, 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 but much too of a riskier trade for me, seeing as I only want 1 or 2 trades a day. We've broken that trend line, so now we are going up to newer heights. We're on the 15-minute. Possibly going in to tap into this the daily imbalance here, possibly during our time together. Maybe it will do it eventually, but at what time? That's the thing. Like I say, got this German news in another half an hour that may move a few pips one way or the other. But the low liquidity that I know exists within the EUR USD and all this action here is not very inspiring, to be fair. And we don't know how long this is going to continue on like this. Worth keeping an eye on, sticking with the EUR USD, because usually it's the EUR USD that gives us the smooth runnings for the Academy 55 indicators and smooth action in the runnings. That's why it's still preferred against other forex pairs. But having said that, at the moment, I much prefer the US 100, especially around 230, like I just showed you guys earlier on. And we don't know how long this low liquidity situation is going to last. Just got to keep an eye on it and not take a trade until you get confirmations. Like I said, going in the confirmations that you need, going into any of these zones, putting the lower percentage, 0.75% of a trade, and then that will, with the low liquidity, that will get you to roughly 1% of a trade. Don't want to be trading more than 1%. And if you have to take another trade to get your 2% and all that. Well, again, nothing's changed. You wait for the right conditions. But now I'm waiting for a sell, really, I guess. No, I guess I am waiting for a sell. But the conditions aren't really favorable. All this nervy action and low liquidity doesn't really inspire. But my I put mine at 0.75% in preparation for the low liquidity. Make sure you got your risk to reward in purple, your lot calc in purple. Hopefully we won't have to be doing this too long, but at the moment we know there is low liquidity. And I might, if anything, take a chance on a sell. So I've got 0.75%, and yet it's only 1.5. You're going to be take profit of 1.5, but I know that will change once we go to sell. By the way, I've got the latest version of Trade Assistant, the 10.27, and you'll see it's slightly different now. If you want all those, before we used to press a rectangle box in the older version, but now if you press FN, you can still close all your trades. And that's what I do. Use that now. And you only got the sell now instead of buy and sell. See that gap there? That's because caused by low liquidity. Gaps here, look. Not good. And that's caused by the low liquidity nature of the EUR USD at the moment. But the important thing is to recognize all these things and to act accordingly. Right, it's going to be possibly looking for a sell. Sales has flashed on and off. But we got a low liquidity nervy action. Quickly turn it on the 5 minute. Back to the minute again. Oh, not much going on. But it is what it is. Right, so I want my stop loss to be there. Assuming everything is going to turn red. I think I'll give it 3 pips and down here somewhere before I commit to a trade. Give the trend line a chance to turn red, which you could do at any stage now. There we go. 3.4. And as you can see, that 0.75 has been kicked up to 0.85 because liquidity, it's not too bad actually. I'm under my 1%, which is nice. Yeah, because of low liquidity, things are happening. As you notice, the trend line's gone red now. And once we get down to these levels, I might be even happier to take out down there, as long as we're over 1%. Don't go down broke taking a profit. I'm happy to get out there, to be fair, from what I'm seeing, and I'm happy with that. 0.8% profit, and I'm quite happy with that because I can see it coming back here to fill out the imbalance. It could be going there and up to here, and with the low liquidity, made a little bit of profit. It's not a classic trade, far from it, but I've shown you the conditions that we're working in with the low liquidity. So at the moment, I'd be prepared to look at the US 100 situation later on in the afternoon. But this is a good exercise in showing you guys this nervy action, sideways movement, low liquidity, giving you excuses to stay away, really. And if you're going to trade it, don't go, mad because of these conditions. And a profit is a profit at the end of the day. But a little bit of experience, you can see visually these horrible conditions, really, of how price is going along with low liquidity and stuff like that, and it's not good. But I got a little bit of a profit. Like I said, 0.8, so that's good. And perhaps I can trade a little bit later on today. If you cannot trade yourself because of work commitments or home life or whatever you're doing, and you can't get to trade, because we have a low monthly target, don't just fight your FOMO, your fear of missing out. Keep your discipline. Recognize you can only trade what the market's prepared to give you. These are strange results. Oh, sorry, got the wrong one. .4, I said, didn't I? So I was drag that down there. 3.4 was there. Got up there, which we See, this is assuming a 1%. So it's mucked it all up really. But I got out there about there, yeah, 0.8%. So, you know, profit's a profit at the end of the day. Let's just watch what it does. In actual fact, coming to the end now. So if there's any questions, it's been a bit not the normal trading session today. I grant you that. But I hope you all understand why I did what I did. But if there's any questions, now's the time to text them in, and I will endeavour to answer them for you if I can, or go over something. Kevin says you have to adjust to market conditions. Correct. Raj, great session, school run now. Well done, Raj. Safe journeys. Yep, you have to adjust to market conditions. But it's not the norm for us. But there we go. Seeing very nervy action, low liquidity, and we're fighting all that. So thanks for understanding that anyway. That's good. Good you understand that. There's plenty of volume kicking in with the US 100 at this time. This is not, I mean, we've been trading the EUR USD for 18 months now, over 18 months, and this is the worst I've seen this. We've not experienced this sort of thing before. So we'll keep an eye on it and we'll struggle on with it for just a few, well, till October kicks in, and maybe it's a monthly thing. And maybe in October, liquidity will come back into the market for the EUR USD. But if not, we've got the US 100 to concentrate on. And maybe we'll keep an eye on EUR USD, because usually the action of the EUR USD fits the Academy 55 indicators, but nothing's ever written in stone, you know. Things change, things do change. And maybe this could be changing. I'm not saying permanently, nothing changes permanently, but this could go on for a considerable amount of time. Well, we don't know how long it's going to go on for, but maybe I might change the times. There's not a lot I can do about it this week because I've set my my lifestyle up accordingly. So we will continue this for this week, but we will in future weeks. I'll make a mental note of all this, and we'll act accordingly. Right, so there's no other chat going on. So with that being said, guys, have yourself a great day, and we'll speak to you soon. Have a great day and bye for now.